Welcome to WCYL, the startup community podcast from CodeLaunch and Improving. Welcome to episode 86. Today we have Greg Sowell from College Station, Texas. He is an automator, a global routing engineer, a story collector, an educator, and a maker. We're going to find out what all that means soon. If you're hearing this episode on Spotify or iTunes or Amazon, guess what? You can now watch the WCYL podcast on our YouTube channel. While you're on the channel, check out the 17-minute 2024 CodeLaunch World Championship Hyper Edit. And if you enjoy that, please subscribe and like. We'll get right to our special guest today in a minute. But first, I am Jason W. Taylor, president and founder of CodeLaunch. This podcast is for tech startups and the community of founders, technologists, and investors that support CodeLaunch, the world's only free accelerator where elite professional coders compete to launch tech startups, and the best founders get their digital products accelerated for free. Today's guest is just a unique person I've met, and I wanted to find out more about him. So I'm glad he accepted our offer to come up from College Station and appear in our podcast here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Greg Sowell has been routing globally for over 2 decades. He shares his knowledge with his community at gregsowell.com. He's a speaker at networking conferences. He is fascinated with making and is big into LEDs and microcontrollers. He is also the host of the Why Am I podcast, where he has conversations with others about why and how they became the people they are today. I was his guest on his podcast recently, which you can find at whyamipod.com. So welcome to the WCYL podcast, Greg.
Rock and roll, dude. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So before we get into all this, I met you through a mutual friend. His name is Craig Crutchfield. I affectionately refer to him as Crutch. How did you come to know Crutch?
I know Crutch from when I used to work at Red Hat. I was doing automation stuff, and I went there to kind of help his team out and ended up talking to him. And, whenever you go to these things, you end up going to dinner and stuff like that. And he's an interesting... Unique is another good word. I was thinking about like on the playground as a kid, nobody was yelling at me that I was unique. I was weird back then, but unique is such a fun way of putting it. I'm an odd person. He seems to have a similar vibe, so it was fun just to talk to him, I think.
Well, he was my roommate in college for a while.
So you were stuck with him. I guess I picked him. You were saddled with him.
Oh, I think we picked each other along the way. But we were saddled with each other for a while, and now we're still friends, and we hang out quite a bit. And he was like, man, I'm going to introduce you to this guy. I think that you would like him. His name's Greg. So I'm glad he did.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Crutch, if you ever watch this.
He won't. But
he won't watch this.
It's the thought that counts.
If you don't watch this, I won't do my impersonation of you, Crutch.
It's pretty decent. It's pretty decent.
I have an impersonation. I'll show you later.
Yeah. You're going to shave your head, though.
Yeah, well, it's not a physical. It's more like a sound and body language thing.
I don't know. I think you got to fully commit. This sounds like you're going by half measures. I'm not into that.
So first, let's talk about like just kind of like set the stage where you are professionally. Who do you work for? You're obviously in the networking space. I talked about that, but tell me what that means.
So networking, I have been network engineering, I guess is another way of saying it. I used to consider myself a network plumber, I guess was kind of the way I would describe it. So, it's like, how do you describe to your family members what you do, right? It's like really hard. So you got to kind of come up with something that is readily at hand. But I've always been kind of a physical person. I like working with my hands, doing things like that. And I always knew I was going to do something with computers from the time I was, I think, about 15. Like I had kind of this moment that I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm going to do this thing. And I don't know, it feels like networking, you're physically plugging in cables, you're making things happen, kind of connecting the world together. It always felt like the right thing.
And sometimes there's a clog.
100%.
And you got to find that clog and roto-root it out of there.
It's 100. Well, all right. So it's an interesting challenge. So the really rapid story I usually tell about how I got into networking is I was 15. I got my first computer for Christmas, right? As probably a lot of people did back then. I got a floppy disk, plugged it in. It had the dial-up networking to connect me to my local dial-up ISP. I did that. There was something on there called MIRC, Internet Relay Chat, right? And so I popped in there.
Very familiar.
Right?
Did the floppy disk, was it labeled Internet Complete any chance out of Oklahoma City?
Dude, I cannot remember. But no, I was in Waco, Texas at the time.
We only served Oklahoma City.
Yeah. All right. Well, see, I would have had.
But we had we had the exact same
awesome
thing.
experience. Yeah. Right. It's like, very common story. Anyway, I dial up, I connect in. You ask everybody in the first teen room that you find, like, where are you from and how old are you? And, at this time I was like super shy, very socially anxious, awkward. I didn't like being in crowds of people. So I didn't have a lot of what you would call social skills at that time. And, suddenly I was talking to somebody in Dallas, not a big deal, somebody in Seattle. And then I started a conversation with somebody in Sri Lanka. And literally, like, this poor kid who'd never gone anywhere, did anything. I was like touching the other side of the wall, and literally I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. It was one of those moments. And I was just like, this is it. Like, I don't know how, but I
remember the same exact experiences. The very, very first internet experiences that I had were on IRC also.
Yeah. And that was transformative for me. Like, it helped me. One, it became my career ultimately, but it helped me learn to start communicating with people and things like that. And fast forward a ways, and I was working for a data center group, and I was in charge of the network infrastructure there, essentially making sure the internet was always staying up and available and stuff like that. And I made a BGP change, Border Gateway Protocol, basically how people know how to get from point A to point B on the internet. I made a little change here. And I was watching these looking glasses, essentially servers that show you what does the internet look like from your perspective. And I was watching one in Dallas, and I was watching one, I think, in Virginia, and I was watching one in the UK. And when I saw it roll to the UK, I had literally that same moment, like the hairs stood up. Because, like, again, like, this kid who'd never gone anywhere, did anything, I just affected the flow of information across the planet. And it was so transformative for me, again, in that moment. Because, like, I like to tell, like, I've got a brother-in-law that's a cop, and he tells all these anecdotal stories, and everybody laughs and they get it. So it's like, what we do, nobody gets it, right? We're hidden away, and it's just invisible. But I can guarantee you that guy's not changing the planet on a daily basis. And people like us, we are. And so, I don't know, man, it just made it feel special, right? Made it feel important, I guess. Made me feel important.
I remember some of the same feelings of the early internet, right? Like, if you're younger than me and Greg, and you're listening to this, there was a point where the only way to contact somebody far away from you was a telephone call, a letter, or to travel to them. The end. And there was no email, and there was none of that. But suddenly and rapidly, it became implemented all over the place very early. It started off in universities doing email, and at first it was just inter-office email, but then it became email other universities, and then, in like the late 80s, and then all of a sudden the internet became a public medium for everybody to connect to. And then all of a sudden, just like that, in a period of like 18 to 24 months, everybody could do most of the things you can do now on the internet in more primitive ways than you can do them now on the internet. So to be at that age and to be like hands-on technology savvy like you and I were, and to be in like early 20s when that happened or so, was absolutely one of the most fortunate and lucky things about my life, I think. Because like, it just exploded the opportunities for business to take advantage. It's a lot like AI has been the past 24 months. Like 24 months ago, almost no one was talking about AI. Not in the way they are now, where there's an AI tool popping up every day that does something new. And the engines behind them are evolving every few weeks. Meta's got a new one. Grok 4 came out today, I think, as we sit here. Google's will have a new one. Microsoft will have a new one. OpenAI will evolve their platform, and there's others popping up all the time. So, like, if you've experienced and observed the rapid pace of AI and how it's changing everything really fast, that's exactly what happened when dial-up internet first came along back in the 90s. So there you go, kids. Story from the past from Grandpa Taylor. Okay, so you are a top shelf network engineer. Who do you work for?
Well, the network engineering, I don't do nearly as much of that as I used to. I mostly just
What do you call it then? What do I call it? To be right.
To be right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I do it just kind of on a small consulting basis. I have some people I kind of help with that. So I don't do it. And that's more kind of a recent change. So I've moved into more automation stuff these days, but I still do and maintain, because I did network engineering for like 20 years.
So you don't really do that anymore? You do network, like project-based consulting?
Well, you can never get away from it. You know, like your roots, wherever you start, you put 20 years, you put 2 decades into anything, it's going to be part of you and you're going to continue to do it. Now it's just my focus is more on automating networking and, well, automating like anything. I guess
I did some PowerShell code this morning right before I came here.
There you go.
But I don't hardly ever code anymore. But I did today.
For sure. Well, you know,
I used AI to generate the PowerShell code, and then I cut and pasted it, and then it didn't quite work, and I fixed it.
Vibe coding, bro. Yeah, it's nobody really programs anymore. You can just vibe it out. And honestly, like even with automation, so I mostly focus on Ansible, right? It's open source automation tool, but you have to write like scripts or recipes, usually referred to as playbooks, and it's super powerful. It's kind of one of those things where
what are you automating?
Literally anything you can imagine.
Oh,
yeah. It's really more for infrastructure automation. If there's a piece of thing you have to touch, like I'm an admin, you're an admin, we're doing our daily jobs. If there's a thing you have to touch, you can automate that stuff using Ansible, right? So whether it's routers, firewalls, switches on the network side.
And what's it called? Using what?
Ansible.
Ansible?
Yeah. I mean, I've
never heard of that because I'm not on the infrastructure side, and I haven't really been. There was a point where I could have gone either way. Like, back in the mid '90s, we had to build the.
You obviously picked the right path. So
I went the software development side because I found it to be extremely challenging, and it was really difficult. But back then, it was like all C++, and there's some really, really esoteric concepts in object-oriented inheritance and C++ pointers and it's really challenging, and like it feels good as a young person to master it and then understand it when it's first. It's probably like physics to some people. It seems like I'm never going to get this. This is way above my capability. And when you do, it's like, yes, I can do anything. Give me a computer. I can build anything.
That's so much of, I would say I was going to say my IT career, but I think my career in everything I've done is I tend to fail a lot until it eventually succeeds, and then I can stop, and then I'll fail at something else for a little while until it succeeds, and just keep moving and moving. But yeah,
I'm that way at golf, but I never have gotten to the succeed all the way part.
I mean, there's no winning or losing in golf. Isn't it just whoever doesn't get drunk before you get to the end? I've never played golf, but I assume that's how it works.
There's a lot of that, but there is a thing called the handicap.
Okay.
And nowadays, everybody is on like one platform. It's called the Gen platform.
Okay.
So I can see my friends from college. I can see their rounds, and I can see a chart of their handicap. So there is hazing and shaming going on every day.
You're an amazing human individual. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't do that.
Well, I want to be my best. And I know the best golfer that's inside of me is still in there. And also, I used to be a lot better. So I'm off my peak, and I know I can get back and beat that. Probably not until I retire, because to be any good at golf, as any golfer knows, you can't be really good at business and be really good at golf at the same time.
I thought that was part of being in business, is so that you could play golf with other people.
Yeah, but that's how much it takes. To get actually better at golf, you have to play 2 or 3 times a week.
You get the reps
like a year.
That's what that actually, you mentioned AI, and that kind of makes me think about that. Is I think AI is kind of supplanting some of our repetitions that we get through actually doing stuff. Like somebody made this analogy that really made sense to me. Like kids in school using AI to complete their homework. It's like going to the gym and using a forklift to move the weights. It's like the point is not to get the weights from one to the other. It's to build those muscles, right? And so I think sometimes a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this as well, using AI as kind of a crutch to not get those reps in, right? To like build that muscle memory or, lock in.
I did it today.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like a PowerShell script is just like a DOS command that's kind of fancier.
Think about it too. Like if it's something you're going to do once a year, are you going to spend 3 months to like learn and really absorb all of this so that you can do it for 30 minutes once a year? Probably not. That feels like a good use of AI.
Well, it's like 3-4 times a year for us. So
right.
The little tool I built, it just goes through all the applications. We just got 147 US founder applications. Their deadline to put the video appeal online for us to watch a video of them tell us why they should be in CodeLaunch and what it is they want to do. That's due tonight at midnight. And I wrote a script to like unzip. Many times they upload files that are zipped. And with the 147 subfolders that may or may not contain zips, I just wanted to unpack every zip that's in every folder right where it is. And it took about 12 minutes to iterate through a little bug that had to do with an obscure file name. And so now it's good. And now we can just copy paste that and task repeat every single time we have a
chef's kiss. That's like perfect utilization of it, right? I think some people have made their entire job to just take this, like this little bit of stuff, put it in AI, and then just move it. I mean, is that like the new factory worker, where you're just on the factory line? You're not really just mundane picking and pushing. I don't know. I have these weird qualms where I move back and forth because I'm
really back and forth on this
because it kind of freaks me out about like, what does my kid's future look like? All that stuff. Like what's going to happen to our industry, our various industries? Am I still going to have a job? I think I'm moving more into the people piece, so I probably still will be employable. I don't know.
After CodeLaunch, I'm going to turn myself into an HVAC mechanic.
Solid.
And then I'm going to acquire an HVAC business. And there's no AI that will ever come to your house, get in your attic, and fix your AC.
Or there's no AI that's ever going to clear the clog in your toilet either.
That's right. But AI will unclog your network toilet.
100%. I mean, yes and no. It's like, how much of that do you want to let Jesus take the wheel on like AI on your infrastructure? Because say AT&T lets them do it and you have a global outage that's down for 12 hours. Can you sustain that? Like, does it make sense to do that? So it's going to get it good enough eventually. But
the tools some of the very first applications of AI that have been very popular besides the search, which is probably like the number one, almost everybody is seeing AI results now when they search for anything. So people everywhere are using AI without some of them maybe knowing it. Probably a lot of them do know it. But one of the other common applications that's very popular, just on fire, is code generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's such a two-sided coin that I can't see which side this is going to land on. One side, and I see this all the time, and what we do at CodeLaunch is the AI code generation tools at our hackathons can build an incredible amount of product fast, incredibly faster than we were doing it when we started this 10 years ago, by like a factor of 100. So a team of 3 great professional consultants that already use these tools, working together with the startup founder as a vision for a product, they crank out some amazing things. So that tells me that everywhere, the power to create a new product that does something amazing is suddenly much cheaper and accessible and democratized across everybody. The problem that we were trying to solve at CodeLaunch, and that we do solve, that we at least help with, is that creating a world-class digital product that can help you get funding and help disrupt a market and actually become a healthy business it has been so expensive because the software developers that you need to do that are expensive. They're the ones that are good at it, that will actually make that happen for you, are the ones that are doing it for a living and they're being paid well to work all day doing it. So what 9/10 of the startup universe has done the past decade is use sister's brother's cousin on the weekend, someone they can convince to be passionate and help them on the weekend or the nights, or hire the cheapest offshore resource they can possibly find.
Right.
And all of these lead most of the time to a situation where it's not optimal. A broken relationship, a developer that's completely burned out, an offshore operation that's unscrupulous. All these things, we encounter them all the time. Mm-hmm. So are we going to continue to like rapidly accelerate at CodeLaunch because now our devs and our model can build things faster? Or are people going to need us less? I don't know. And so I'll ask you this. You're on the record. 3 years from now, July 2028, is there a huge unemployment problem caused by AI? Or is it the opposite? There's a huge growth all over the place, positive transformation because of AI? Or neither? 3 options.
I think it's going to, that's a good question. I think some industries are going to get decimated. I think some will thrive. Others, I think, will be somewhat untouched. We've already talked about like HVAC, right? It's probably going to be fine. Something that does give me hope is that you do still have to have subject matter experts operating the AI. Like you said, like a team of like 4 talented people that know what they're doing. The AI is going to spit out stuff. It still hallucinates. It'll still not use best practices. It'll still do things that, our best efforts to tell it, please give me this. It's not quite what it really needs to be. And then even if it does create like a function or a component, it may not snap into the rest of, the infrastructure or the architecture the way we need it to. But so you still have to have people that ultimately know what's going wrong, as well as when things go bad, it's really helpful to have somebody to troubleshoot. And I have used AI to help troubleshoot, but I've worked in industries where, so for about 13 years, I worked for a data center group, and I had an SLA, service level agreement, that I was guaranteed people would get 100% uptime on internet connectivity. That's an incredible claim to make. You can do that.
100%.
And I can tell you, I never had to pay out because I wrecked myself to make sure. And it was such a relief when I finally left that place. There's just so much stress, and I think it's still leaching. I literally, when I left there, I had to change my ringtone because it made me feel like I was going to puke when my phone would ring. Like it was that kind of a stressful environment, like always on, right?
Wow.
So if you don't have people that are really invested in troubleshooting an issue, because there's so many human factors that an AI is not going to be able to figure out that there's a fiber cut somewhere. An AI is not going to be able to figure out that 3 layers up in a carrier's network, they had a router that went rogue and it locked up and it's doing crazy. It's like the AI in my infrastructure can't figure that out, right? So if you don't have somebody who can ultimately understand what's going on at a fundamental level, you're going to kind of be in trouble. You can only get so far. That's why you still have to have experts that can do that stuff. Now, it also makes me think, are those experts going to be old timers like us that have been doing it a long time, and keeps those younger people from being able to come in and get trained up to get those skills to be able to do that, right? Like, is that going to preclude them? Because they can say, oh, no, we'll just get AI, and this 1 or 2 people can maintain everything. We don't need to bring new. So I've seen other industries where, and I think this happened to like after COVID, there was a lot of older people that could have retired but were in their jobs a long time because they like to work, and they're like,
my mother.
There you go. And they're like, oh man, no, forget it. I'm not going in there. I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden there's all these openings. There's all this institutional knowledge that just walked away, and these other people that didn't get trained. It's like, what do? You're in a bit of a pickle there.
Do you know what a petroleum landman is?
Is that the people that go around and like get like rights to do stuff? They have to create the legal
record of who owns the mineral rights and the surface rights at any exploration site.
Okay.
And they get it from courthouses. And by looking at transactions that go back as long as courthouses kept records.
Interesting.
And in places that have oil, Oklahoma, Texas, the Dakotas, really everywhere has a little bit, but the big markets, those records go back to the mid 1840s and sometimes farther if you go east. And
were you like looking up stuff on like microfiche and stuff like that?
they used to do that. They had to go to the courthouses.
Yeah.
So my mother did this for like 30, 35 years. Okay. She retired like 8 or 9 years ago. The other day, she's like, I think I'm going to take this landman job. And I go, what? She goes, oh yeah, well, it's all gone digital and landmen don't go to the courthouse anymore.
Huh.
It's entirely something you do from your house.
That's cool.
She goes, it's just the exact same thing, but you do it entirely digitally. And I have all this experience and these people want to hire me. And she's like, I can just do this casually some hours of the week and, make some supplemental income. And I'm like, go for it, Mom.
Give me something to do.
So at 78, my mom's about to be an active landman again from her home.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Stealing the job from some 25-year-old young and hungry landman wannabe.
I don't know. And I don't know that that'll come to fruition. That's just, and I think I also used to think, I don't know, probably like 10 years into my career, like at any point, these kids that were like born with an iPad coming out of the womb, like, they cut the umbilical cord and hand them an iPhone. Like, here you go. I thought, they were going to come and they were going to displace me, right? Like they're going to take my job. And, cause they just with this technology for so long. But what I've learned is it seems like when you're born with it, I don't know, maybe it's just too easy to use now and people become complacent and they don't really worry about the underpinnings. Maybe when we were getting started with computers, you had to fight with them so much that if you were going to use one, you had to figure out how to keep it limping along.
Our stuff was breaking all the time.
Yeah. So,
and we wouldn't know why when it's been hours trying to figure it out. Pissed off customers calling us, trying to get us.
100%, dude.
So then we started building monitors, right? That's the next thing you do. Like, okay, well, if this happens again, I'm going to know about it before they do.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have cron jobs and all sorts of things. And then there ends up being this one person that knows the whole web of the monitoring and the infrastructure. And then that person becomes the conduit through which all business is executed.
Heaven forbid that guy take a vacation.
I have a feeling that was you for many different stops.
Yeah. I mean, I missed Christmases before. I've missed birthdays. I missed birthing classes.
That's a good one to miss. Good for you.
Yeah.
Lucky move, Greg.
No, it's like.
Can I get a network breakdown call at about 3 p.m.
Jeez.
This Sunday? Thank you.
That's,
sorry, moms out there.
You give your heart and
that's
soul
the way I feel.
to a place, and it's like, at some point, it's like, is it worth all this effort? I don't know.
Okay, enough about AI and networking. I want to talk about your passion for LEDs and microcontrollers.
Yeah.
So I have to admit, I'm really not exactly sure what a microcontroller is.
Sure.
I've always been a PC and a mobile device developer person. But I know that microcontroller code is like lower level. It used to be lower level.
Yeah.
There's probably higher level versions of that, like 5GL versions for microcontrollers now. But that sounds fun. That sounds like you might get tinkering joy out of it.
You do, yeah. Again, it's that maker side of me that love to like build and move and like industrial automation. I've always been fascinated by, right? Like having computers control the physical world. Like that's kind of cool and kind of scary at the same time. But microcontrollers are really just tiny computers. Like in your hand right there, there's a microcontroller inside that thing.
So it's the chip.
Yeah, it's probably like a little ARM processor or something. And essentially, it's a whole bunch of components that they slam together in a single chip that can do pretty much everything you want. So it's got input, output. Normally, you're going to be programming nowadays, probably in like, if you've heard of Arduino, right?
I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's like programming in C. So it's not complicated. There's tons of example code out there that you can use for that stuff and just do all kinds of weird, interesting,
C's pretty low
things.
level. I mean, that's pretty low level. C's one above assembly, man.
Well, I don't know. C++ then. There's tons of functions, tons of sample code. It's really easy to get started.
And now you have AI tools that can generate it for you.
Yeah. So genuinely, anything you can imagine that's like a physical device, you can have it do stuff. So I've done lots of unorthodox things. Talking about LEDs, like serial addressable WS2812s. So they're also referred to as NeoPixel. Think of just like a strip with a bunch of LEDs.
Do you use a PC
control.
to program your microcontroller code?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does it write to it?
USB into it usually, or serial interface. Just like
That's what
old school serial used to be, and now you just go
RS-232.
100%. That's how I started.
Where did that come from? I haven't said that word or seen it in print.
And I know you say
In many years.
RS-232, and you could see the interface, the little kind of trapezoidal
I can see it.
thing. Yeah. But yeah, you just USB into this cat, you program it up, you throw your LEDs in there. So
That does sound fun.
I've
Okay,
done
so tell me,
stuff-
what is your latest maker project, and did it involve LEDs?
The latest maker project? I don't know, man. I kind of go in waves on different stuff. I've made, like, as far as microcontrollers go, like light suits. So believe it or not, I used to go to a lot of raves and stuff like that
Okay.
until the pandemic hit. And then I was just, I don't know, it's like, I'm old and my knees hurt. I don't want to be dancing I do want to be dancing for like 6 hours, but it's like hard to maintain. But I used to make light suits. So again,
Like, are we talking like the big one, like Burning Man, those kind of things?
I don't know. I had like the cheapest Amazon dirt bike gear you could get. So it was basically just like an EXO, like just, like kind of hard little caps right here and like shin guards and stuff. And I just had all kinds of LEDs on it configured with a microcontroller to like run all these. Well, it actually started with a Nintendo Power Glove. You remember those? I gutted one, put a
I never
microcontroller,
had one.
and I made a light suit that was controlled by the Power Glove. Actually, believe it or not. And then I upgraded to a light suit that I could. So picture this kid, right? That socially awkward, can't talk to people and all this stuff. And then here I'm at a rave with this thing. And I even have like these infinity mirrors that were on the chest. And I would make a companion suit for my wife. And so we'd go together as this lit up couple. And I don't know, man, it's a different experience to go from being terrified of the world. Lit fam. Oh my God. Don't make me pull out my Gen Z speak. It makes my kids go crazy. But it makes people kind of like come to you, and I don't know, you just have these interesting experiences that you would not otherwise. I think the last thing I think I made with a microcontroller is I called it, and there's a YouTube video out there, Operation Shock. You remember the old Operation game?
Oh, yeah.
The tweezers? I wired a microcontroller to watch it so that whenever you would buzz that, it would activate a relay that was hooked to a TENS unit, and so it would shock you while you were trying to play. So it would make a very visceral experience.
So instead of just the nose lighting up red, it would actually shock.
Yeah, and you put it on the arm you're doing the tweezers with. And I was like, yeah. And you crank up the strength as high or low as you. And I even added a progressive mode. So I think I have it going like 100 milliseconds when you buzz the first time, and it doubles every time. So in the progressive mode, if you mess up again, it's 200 milliseconds, then 4, and then it's
by
like
the end, your
a second and
you're
a
so
half,
terrified
because it just
to get the Adam's apple. There's no way to get the Adam's apple.
So
You're just going to get zapped.
At some point, yeah, you just give up. You let it go. I thought this was hilarious, and I had a good time making it. And
Until a lawsuit, or
until I got my family to try it, and I was like, oh, this is not a normal human reaction that I'm having. Other people do not like this. Yeah.
No, Dad.
It's like, all right.
I'm not playing
Type of
actual
operation.
shock operation
Yeah,
ever
that's
again.
a clean your room. We're playing Operation, but yeah. So I don't know, just whatever. Sometimes I like to just think, how do you do something? Like, is something possible? Come up with an idea and try and sometimes I won't even figure out how a normal person would do it. I just see if I can figure it out, just to see if you can do it.
Well, we have a maker, passionate maker at the Improving office, CodeLaunch headquarters. His name is Harold, and he has the same passion. He likes to make things, and I came to him and said, "Hey, I need a dramatic way to reveal the championship belts that the winners get on the stage." So you probably seen the pictures. We have these like actual leather and metal world championship belts.
Does it look like a wrestling belt?
It is like, it snaps on the back. It is big and heavy. It is leather.
That's baller.
You can buy the cheaper one, but we always get the like $600 one. And if you win
they get to keep the belt?
yeah, if you win the event, we give it to you on stage.
Dude, that's
So-
worth it. That's worth it right there.
He's like, okay, I got an idea. And we bought this metal briefcase that's kind of deeper than a normal briefcase.
Okay.
We call it sometimes the nuclear football. It looks like something that would be, chained to your wrist and to the handle as a Secret Service agent walking around.
Yeah.
And we put it in a strategic spot on the stage. And then inside, he put these, the inside cover has like an LED controllable panel of some kind. And there's all sorts of light points. I don't know. It must be 500 in there. So it's kind of dense. And then on the frame, he mounted the wire system. And then there's like a lithium ion rechargeable battery, the kind that you can't put in your suitcase.
Right.
So I have to take this thing through TSA every time we go to a CodeLaunch show. And
carry this bomb through TSA.
It's what it looks like. Yeah.
100%.
And almost always the TSA the belt stops. And then
do you tell them ahead of time? Say you're going to freak out about
I'm
this?
like, okay, I'm going to go over here. No, because they're usually so busy and they're just, how they are at the beginning, they're yelling at everybody.
I always have...
Get your computers out, blah, 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 blah. Here's the basket, don't you?
Yeah. I always have lock picks in my my bag. Like I literally...
Lock picks?
Yeah.
What is this, Skyrim?
You never know, man. You never know. It has got me out of multiple jams and never gotten me into one. So I'm using them responsibly. But I've learned whenever I go through, because they're in my fanny pack. So when I travel, that's a hack for you. If you travel a lot, fanny pack, brother, it makes life so much easier because you just chunk your stuff down, throw it back on, and you go. You don't think about it. But I have to pull my lock picks out. I fan them out,
backpack,
and I say, I'm fanning my lock picks out so you guys can see it. I'll say it, and boom. And I have never had a problem since. Otherwise, you'll get flagged. They'll check you. They'll look at you all weird. But I learned if you're taking questionable stuff, you just, hey guys, like I'm doing this thing. It seems a little easier.
So, yeah. So this thing, the idea is on stage, the trophies are in it. At a moment in the show, the lights are all off. I reach down and I flick a switch on. It has one of these guards, so you can't flick it on by accident. So first you have to release the guard.
Like you're firing the missiles?
Yeah, and it's red and translucent.
Yeah.
And you flick the old school A/B
toggle
switch.
Yeah.
And then I know, as I've already tested it, that the lights start to go. And I slowly open that thing to the audience, and every time it gets them. They're like, ooh.
Brother, you got to put like a smoke machine in there. How baller would that be? Like, smoke.
I probably need to get a bigger
out.
one and get Harold to build a little bit bigger one because
so cool.
It's really full right now. The trophies, they fold. The metal pieces don't fold. They're real metal.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of effort to get the 2 belt trophies in there. But yeah, like a little dry ice or something. And then
well, they make
if I leave the door open, it does the improving logo. It's
they make
pretty cool.
compact ones about that big for like those specific applications.
Yeah,
It's basically like a vape that's like designed to just
makes a little
like
bit
a little
of
atmosphere sort of stuff. Yeah.
blue smoke.
Yeah.
So startup founders that might be listening, would they be able to find you if they have some kind of maker need? Would that be something that you would be interested in connecting?
I talk to everybody everywhere. That's something that I think has propelled me more in my career than anything else is saying yes to things. So I will always have a conversation. Anybody wants to talk about something, I always have a conversation. I feel like this is probably a lot of your story too, is just saying yes to stuff. Like, hey, can we do this? Yeah. Because literally anything's possible, right?
With enough time and money.
Enough time and money. Exactly. So it's not my job to say no. I'll just say it costs this much. And you're like, oh, I can't afford that. Or it'll take this long. Oh, I can't wait that long.
Yeah.
But for me, everything's possible. So sometimes
there you go. CodeLaunch community of founders.
I think it goes back to that mentality.
Greg Sowell is our official maker resource at CodeLaunch.com. You have a logo we could put in the global community partners?
For sure.
You need a logo.
I mean, I'll give you
like a mustache themed logo.
I do have one.
Oh, you already have a mustache themed logo?
Dude, if you ask me in a minute, I've got stickers in my bag. It's a mustache.
Oh, we're going to get some Greg Sowell stickers.
I'll hook you up with some swag, brother. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so there you go, founders. You've got a resource you can reach out to if you have microcontroller needs, if you're, maybe some LED programming, some kind of automation of anything, Internet of Things. This is your guy. And if you need your network plunged. So Next topic. Tell me why you learned magic.
All right. I prompted you with that one a little bit. I like to challenge myself. As you can tell, I like learning new stuff. I learned to juggle, right? So you do balls and then rings and then clubs, and then I just decided one day.
Chainsaws. One day it's chainsaws.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I've been bulking up. Yeah, I got my 6-inch pythons going here. But no, like I've always liked sleight of hand, stuff like that. So I thought I would try it. And I always actually have a deck of cards with me too. It's my fidget. I've learned that I'm a very fidgety person. So if I'm literally not just vomiting words at you right now, I will want to mess with something. And nowadays the tendency is to like look at my phone. I don't like that because it like disengages me. So I've learned if I just fidget with cards, it keeps me in there. And so whenever I'm around customers and there's downtime, I'm always fidgeting. And I eventually learned some sleight of hand to go along with it. And it's actually kind of turned into this trick I can do where I can connect with people in the span of about 5 minutes. I can make like a real human connection with somebody.
So you have a super party trick. You can take anywhere, anytime.
You want to see it, I can show it to you. I don't know that this is the medium for it. The cameras are set up right, but even off camera, I can show you.
If you are listening to this, you need to come look at it, because right now, Greg Sowell is going to do his super duper party trick for us on our YouTube channel.
Oh, you want me to go for it?
Rip it.
All right. It's about a 5-minute run. Are you good?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, it's actually kind of...
Am I going to look like an idiot at the end? That's what I want.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Connecting with people and making them feel like idiots.
I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Right? So it is, and you've done my podcast.
Wait, I'll tell you what we're doing. We'll save it for the end.
Okay.
Because I have another topic I want to get to.
All right.
But we're going to do that at the end. We'll close out with Greg Sowell's party card trick.
Yeah.
And I will try to see if I can figure out how he does it. And I won't.
Oh, I'm 100% sure you're
okay, so advanced topic. We'll come back to that. Why have you put a subwoofer in every car you've ever owned?
All right. So I think you're a music guy, right? You're big into music. I know you've talked to like your editor and and all that stuff on here. I've listened to some of your music, so I know it's a big part of your life. I've learned I'm not like a music all day kind of person. Both of my kids and my wife are like all day. But part of music for me too is experiencing it like tactily. Like I want to feel the music. I didn't realize that until the first rave I went to. And it seems so weird saying rave.
At concerts.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a rock concert, they have subs.
Yeah. And
you can feel that on your skin, right?
Like I can still remember the first festival I went to, the experience being, I don't know, 70 feet from the stage. It's still pretty good ways. But it was, EDM, it's a lot of bass music. And there's pyrotechnics, there's smoke, there's lasers, there's a whole crowd. There's like 5,000 people all moving in the same direction, like vibing in the same way. They're here to have a good time. And then you just feel the music with your entire body. Like, I don't know. It just pulled me away from everything else. Nothing else mattered. I was just there in that moment. It made me present. And so I'm not always like in that same space when I'm in every vehicle I've ever had with a subwoofer, but it's also, I love wiring things. I love the problem solving of how do I build an enclosure,
the making
to the exacting specifications and get all that stuff. But
how can I make it where you can't even see it?
100%. Yeah. I want the space still to be super functional, like let me do it on this budget or whatever it happens to be. But it still connects me to the music in that way where it can kind of help me be present in those moments. I'm curious, do you have experiences like that with music? Does it kind of pull you away from everything else?
Yeah, I mean, I when I get into a song that I like at the very beginning of it, it gives me goosebumps up and down my neck and arms repeatedly over and over. And then...
Can you still do that with new music?
It's usually new music.
You know what I've learned is...
There's a period of... there's a point where it just can't happen anymore. Like, it's just... I'm never going to get that from Paradise City by Guns N' Roses ever again.
But you know what's fascinating?
But I probably got it for the first year and a half, and I'm talking about 10,000 listens.
Yeah. I've learned that there was some research done, and as you age, your brain gets less flexible, right? And they said one of the signs of that is, some people will listen to the same music from like 30 years ago, and they don't progress forward. And they found those people don't get goosebumps anymore when they listen to music. Like they don't still have that feeling when they get a new piece of music. So if you have that, that's still a sign that your brain is still has that plasticity that you're still able to.
I'm a new music guy. So
me too.
I listen to the genre that no one listens to anymore. It's the least popular genre in the world.
You're a hipster is what you mean to say.
It's indie rock, right? So nowadays, no one's left in indie rock except for actual indie rock. Oh. So every band that's putting out like obscure indie rock and roll actually is still driving from show to show in a van. You can go watch them play at Deep Ellum on any Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and there'll be 4 or 5 together from some part of the country.
Yeah.
And they're usually playing similar genres, so they kind of like, they gel together when their genres fit. And, at Three Links or Trees or any of these clubs down here in Deep Ellum, there's some great rock and roll shows going on down there.
It feels weird, like on these smaller venues, these smaller shows, it feels like you almost have access to these artists and stuff that you wouldn't like in like a giant, like you feel, sure. I don't know, it feels like a different connection sort of thing.
Yeah. And so when you're there, like and if it's, nowadays they have LED walls, so there's a lot more like visual entertainment going on.
Yeah.
But they'll just play like loops that they've designed to play behind this song or that song. And sometimes they're synchronized with the song, which makes it extra cool. We do that at the CodeLaunch show a little bit. So, but when you're at a show, then you have people, the smell of the room, the sweat sometimes, I try not to get in the mosh pit anymore, but sometimes judgment gets the better of me and I'll run up there and just kind of get thrown around for a second just to feel alive and then see if I escape that injury. And sometimes I do escape with that injury. Sometimes I'm damaged for life and or lose property or clothing or have a trash can of vomit thrown off the stage into the crowd while I'm in, right? And that happened about 2016 at Trees. So, the whole live show, live music experience is totally different than just jamming to a song in your car. And,
you feel like that's kind of,
I really enjoy it. I don't do it enough anymore, but I
feel like less people are doing it nowadays. Like just on the whole, like I don't know. Like my kids, like they've not expressed any interest in going to see anybody live.
How old are your kids?
19 and about to be 17.
Yeah, mine are 23 and 21, and they've both been to 3 or 4 concerts, but not like I was.
Right. Yeah.
By the time I was that age, I'd been to 50.
Well, I was too broke back then.
Or 70. A lot of them were cheap.
Yeah. Once I hit like my early 20s, like I had a little bit of disposable. That's when I started really doing stuff.
So do you use Spotify? Because to me, Spotify is the elite and only music platform in the world. The
rest of them are trash.
Apple, trash.
Everybody started with what, like Pandora?
Pandora, trash. Pandora totally ruined it. Pandora had this right in their hand.
I don't know how they let it slip through their fingers.
It just be plain old channel streaming for 10 years.
Yeah.
But Spotify actually has, I'm not going to call it AI because it's really not AI. It's just really advanced machine learning.
Oh yeah, their algorithms are pretty good.
Yeah, and they have what they call a taste profile. Talking to other people right now, if you don't have Spotify, or if you do and you're not interacting with it, telling it what you like and what you don't like, it's not building a taste profile for you. But for me, I use it for all sorts of purposes, like Italian restaurant dinner. I'll play a playlist in my house and it sounds like you're at a really swanky Italian restaurant and it puts everybody in a vibe, right? But you can say, that's not my taste profile. I'm just listening to that for fun.
Mm.
So the stuff that is in my taste profile comes up in my two channels it makes for me every week. It does this for everybody. Discover Weekly and New Music Friday. So every Friday, it gives you a brand new playlist of new music that it thinks you'll like. And every Monday, it gives you Discover Weekly, which is just the same thing, but not necessarily new. So it's songs from anywhere and any place in time that it thinks you're going to like.
Right.
Because it knows the other things you like, and it knows other people that like what you like also like this.
Have you seen Release Radar?
And Release Radar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's another one.
And those three are the ones that I find all kinds of new music, and I'm on the hunt to get that feeling again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a drug almost. But yeah, I got it. I mean, this sounds really conceited, but I get that feeling when I hit a point with my own music, and until I don't really. I keep working on the arrangement of the song until I get a rush from my own song.
I get that. Like I'm not a musician, but like
doesn't mean anybody else is ever going to like it that way. But I have to get it before I feel good about letting other people hear it.
You know what I've noticed too is like I think I know what you're getting at. Like my wife, she's a fitness instructor, and so she'll do like cycle class and stuff like that. And so sometimes I'll give her a playlist like, here's a bunch of songs I think would be cool for your cycle class, and it could be a song I've heard and like that feeling's gone. But then I put myself in this headspace where it's like I'm performing this for other people, and you're going to be doing this activity. Like it can bring it back. Like, dude, you're gonna like these people are gonna go crazy when this drop hits. They're going to hit those pedals. So they're going to rip their pedals off. Mm-hmm. And like, I'll feel it. And it's like, so I get it. Like, oh, I'm going to perform. Like you put yourself in this space where I'm presenting this to these other people. They're going to go crazy. Like kind of lets you relive that feeling again.
Yeah. It actually, I'm on my third song, recording, writing, and arranging in my house right now. Third in 23 years. I took a 23-year break while my children occupied my money, my bedrooms, and my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they move, I picked this hobby back up again, and I got really lucky that all the technology and resources were greatly advanced. And so now I'm able to create faster and more freely, and I have a music coach who was a guest about 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, yeah. It was really interesting.
And really cool platform. And the most recent song was probably the most encouraging to me that I need to keep doing this, and I'm not going to stop, because I got like a stage 5 version of this from that. And it's the song that I performed live at CodeLaunch. Mm-hmm. So I've only done it once at the CodeLaunch Canada 2 weeks ago. And rave reviews. So you'll see it if you come to the World Championship November 12th at Gillies in Dallas. And you'll see it at CodeLaunch Latam, Guadalajara, October 8th. And probably for the year, at least 1 year following that. But now I'm looking for a new way to introduce another song into the content that still makes sense. It was really hard to make it make sense and fit the continuity of the show. And I absolutely nailed it, Greg. I mean, I'm telling you, somebody, I don't know who gives out awards for, what is that award that you get? It's not the Grammys, and it's not the Academy Awards. It's like for stage productions.
Like a Tony? Like musicals?
Yes.
Okay.
This could be a Tony Award winning song.
Jason, you know what I love about you? It's how humble you are.
Everybody says that. But like, the feeling on the back of your neck don't lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not me just making shit up.
Yeah.
That's me like physically feeling the creation and the energy it gives me. If it gives everybody else that, wow, this is going to be fun and people are going to like it, I'm going to like it. I can't wait to do CodeLaunch again.
I was talking to this musician one time. I was interviewing him on my podcast, and I don't remember how we got to it, but he was like, yeah, it's hard to tell people how you feel. Like, it's hard for me to tell you how I feel and you to understand it. He's like, so that's why I use music. He's like, it speaks for me in that way. And I was like, bruh, that's like such an amazing hack that's not available to like me. Like, or a lot of people that just aren't musical. And so like the idea that you can tap into that and be able to, that's like a whole extra communication avenue. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so crazy.
It is. It's interesting. Yeah. Sometimes music lyrics are a little hard they're intangible and they're abstract. But other times you can connect right to lyrics and they just mean so much to you. And then the mood and the emotion of the song like combines, and it forms this like experience in your head that then becomes nostalgic for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's magic trick time. So Greg Sowell will now show us his incredible.
Zero warm up or preamble. I love it.
And before we do that, would you like a black CodeLaunch hat or a white?
I'm taking the white one.
Okay.
It's right here. It's good to go. White's my color.
Take that.
Makes
Take
my
that
bulbous head look even bigger. I'm here for it. Plus, they don't make a hat to fit my head. I'm probably going to stitch them both together to make it work. So,
Well, it's adjustable.
yeah.
Are you like a first
say
snap guy?
that. Yeah.
You have to get two for it to even work, right? It can't just be one snap. Isn't it's like
I have these extenders,
what?
like a seatbelt extender, but bruh, it's all just like snaps on
They
one.
have
and
that
holds-
for people with big heads.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't know.
Do you sell it at
It's called Greg
GregSowell.com?
Head. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're called. I got them off Amazon.
You need to get those branded.
Stop body shaming me. That's what I want to.
I just think it's funny
say
that
right
that
here.
exists for
It's like,
special,
I got all these brains in my head.
especially awesome people.
Yeah. Like you know those like fitted hats where they're one size fits all.
Yeah.
I've learned this trick where you get them wet and you put a deflated volleyball in there and then pump it up and leave it for about a week and then it fits your head.
And it fits your head.
Yeah, correct. It would fit two normal people's heads.
Well, and yeah, I think I'm a 7 5/8, which is about 2 from the top or 1 from the top. So
yeah, I'm just lucky I don't have hair. Otherwise, literally nothing. But I don't know that I could fit through doorways. Otherwise, it's problematic.
it's a tough life.
Anyway, this trick, magicians have this thing called patter, where it's the BS they're spilling as they're doing their thing, right? And all of it is like, to me, disingenuous. Like, it doesn't feel real. And like, whenever I first got started, I was using other people's patter. Like, I was saying the things that they would say, like, whatever. And it works, right? But I don't know. One day I just decided, like, I'm gonna make this personal. I'm gonna make it for me. Like, I want to say the things that like are real to me. I'm not going to use somebody else's word. I'm going to make my own. So I kind of modeled it after my podcast, like a mini version of my podcast, and it's funny how different things change. So I ask people a question, the answers they give me, I actually keep them in a spreadsheet and like on my phone so that I can go back and reference them. And I've had strange reactions. Like some people will get mad because they feel like you're tricking them, but it's like we're going into an understanding that I'm going to deceive you, right? It's like, this, and it's just for fun, but it still aggravates some people. And I've had somebody say before, that was so meaningful. Like, I've had people like cry before. It's weird. I think all of us as humans at some level want to be seen for who we really are. And if somebody shows genuine interest in that and you see some reciprocation of that, like, it just, it can be impactful. Anyway, enough preamble, building it up. So I'm going to walk you through the whole pattern as if you haven't done my podcast, which you have, which is, again, mini version. So for the people listening that don't know me, I do have a podcast called Why Am I? And genuinely, I only ask everybody one question. And from that, we find our way through the conversation. And that is, who are you? I ask it. And I actually ask this in my personal life. I'll ask people, who are you? Like when I've just met them. It's an exceptionally useful tool. You'd be surprised at how well it works. But when I ask that, I'm not asking somebody what they do for a living, right? I mean, while that is part of you, right, and maybe a big part of you, some people make their job their entire identity, and I don't know how healthy it is, but it can be a part of you. That's not all of you, right? And so everybody this camera guy over here, he knows you as one person, right? I wish I knew his name. I haven't met him yet. But, Eve knows you as somebody, right? Your kids individually know you as a different person. Your partner, literally everybody in the world, Crutch knows you as somebody else. But only you really know who you are and see you for yourself. And so with that in mind, give me a couple of words or maybe a phrase that you feel like represents who you are.
Zealous.
Not over. I like that.
I'm just saying that because that's what I came up with on your podcast.
Zealous.
And I remember.
Zealous. Sounds like something you'd put on a salad. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Zealous vinaigrette.
I like that.
Zealous, independent.
Zealous and independent. I like it. All right. Well, with that in mind, take this deck through the camera.
Okay.
Or through the mic.
I have the deck.
And find whatever card kind of says zealous, independent to you? Like, what represents that? If anything speaks to you, I'm not expecting the hair on the back of your neck to stand up, but if something kind of speaks to you, grab it and pull it out of the deck and hold it for yourself there.
That's hard to apply to a card deck in the interest of time.
Yeah, but this whole idea of like finding out who you are and sharing it with others actually was one of the revelations I had during my podcast. I was talking to this guy, Craig Coombs, really cool dude. He's a friend of mine now. And he has...
One card that represents both those?
Just one. And pull it out and keep it in your hand. And so Craig, I'm going to scoot forward.
You don't want to see it, right?
I'm going to mess up their camera. Nah. So this guy, Craig, that I met, he has terminal cancer. And it's going to take him. He's fighting it, but he's like 12 years in and, he has no illusions. But during the course of that conversation, I had this revelation that what you have to do is you have to find those traits that are you, right? The zealous and independent. And you have to show those to the world. You know what I mean? Like, you can't hide them away. You want people to find you. That's how you got to do it, right? So pop that John right there. So zealous, independent. But it's not just enough to, know what those things are. You've got to show them to the world, and you got to repeat it, right? It's all about repetition, right? So pop one right there like that. So your card, 4 hearts? No. It's not the bottom one, right? 7. Here, hold this just for a second. See, I screw this part up every time. My card was the 4 of hearts. What did it find?
You want me to tell you what my card was?
No, what card did it find?
I thought you just handed me the 4 of hearts.
That's the idea.
Oh, dude. How'd you do that?
What are you?
Ace of spades.
Ace of spades. You would be the ace of spades.
Because it trumps everything and it's
again,
super independent.
Like, take it. You get lost in the sauce sometimes. You forget. It's all about repetition. Like we were talking about earlier.
So you made me think that you messed that up, but you hadn't messed it up.
100%, brother. You're entering in. Watch closely. We'll take it. We'll put it. What do you think?
It's in the middle somewhere. Oh, my
it's
God.
right there. And that's the idea. You have to keep showing the world.
See, my reaction
who you are.
is to accuse you of being possessed by the devil.
See, one more time. It's not, trust me, it looks more difficult than it is, which I'll show you. You can do it yourself.
You don't have to show me.
No, watch. Here.
I'll just mess it up.
Finger it right there. Just slide that, just so you could tell, just slide it off. Just slide it off.
I don't know if we can do this with these mics.
Slide it off. There you
Okay.
go. Drop it. Now flip the top. See, you got it.
Okay. You can show me that at the bar later.
All right, let's bring it home. What was the whole point of this about? What was I trying to convey to you? What's the overarching message?
That you have a good party trick that makes friends with everybody and connects with people.
No. It's you got to know who you are, and you got to show it to the world.
Oh.
So that those people will find you. But interesting enough, sometimes the people that find you, you needed them. You just didn't realize it. Let's see. Can we bring it home? One last. There
Yeah. Man, that's really good. So did you learn this from somewhere else?
YouTube.
And then you're like, I really like that one. I've got to master that one.
Just YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah. Like anything else, like everything else.
Everything's gone to YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you, Greg. That was awesome. I haven't had a card trick played on me, I don't know in how many years, but that was fun.
Zealous and independent.
Independent.
It's nice to see you.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thanks to my CodeLaunch team, CC, Ashlyn, and Eve, everyone at Improving, and our special guest, Greg Sowell. Find him at gregsowell.com and the Why Am I podcast. If you enjoyed the content of this podcast episode, please subscribe wherever you listen or watch. Founders, hit our website, CodeLaunch.com, to find out when our next competition or event is. And follow us for updates on our social media. And remember, CodeLaunch community, keep your feet on the ground, but keep reaching for the startup.